Hi ladies, it's Chaya Parkoff, and I am sharing with you on July 24th, 2023. It's the 6th of Av in the year of 5783, and we are just a few days away from the day where Jews all over the world will be mourning the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, the temple in Jerusalem, where the divine presence really was palpable. You could feel it. And the second temple was destroyed due to baseless hatred, one Jew to another. And we are hopefully working to rectify that and get to a place where there is no such thing as baseless hatred amongst Jews. And we understand that we're all part of the same. Actually, all humanity is part of that spark of God. But we're not there yet, and we still have a few days, so hopefully we will be dancing and feasting this Wednesday night and Thursday instead of fasting and mourning. But I wanted to give you a little bit of inspiration and hope for in the midst of this time period that we're at. We're culminating these 3 weeks. We're in the midst of the 9 days, all culminating in this day of mourning that is very much, at least in the beginning part of it, the night and the morning part of Tisha B'Av. We fast and we refrain from pleasurable activities, much the same ones that we refrain from on Yom Kippur, although the energy is very different. On Yom Kippur, I've said, contrary to popular belief, Yom Kippur is a day of, it's a celebration, it's festive, it's a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll talk more about that as we get closer, why it's not a somber day. But on Tisha B'Av, Wednesday night, Thursday morning, it's somber. We're mourning that the temple was destroyed, and that it was many years ago when it was destroyed. It was destroyed it was the beginning of this destruction that night and the morning, and it was mostly burned by the afternoon. I want to give you a little inspiration to get us through, and that is to understand that God, instead of destroying the Jewish people, right? God made a covenant that we would always survive, always. And we've seen that many times, over and over again, despite all that has been tried to annihilate us. We're still here. Why is that? Because Hashem, instead of destroying the Jewish people for not being the way we are, not acting the way we're supposed to, not being the example that we're supposed to be for the rest of the world, he takes his dwelling place, his holy temple, where his presence, where God's presence, God's not a he, where I'm using the word he, I'm using that pronoun just as in the general, where the presence, the divine flow was there. Instead of destroying the Jewish people, he destroys the temple. The Medrash gives us a parable that it's like a king whose son is going to get married, and he sets up the canopy, and then the son goes and acts in ways that are not becoming, and the king is so upset that he destroys the canopy. He doesn't destroy his son. He doesn't kick his son out. He doesn't say, "You're done." Instead, he destroys the canopy, the wedding canopy, because he takes his destruction out on wood and stones rather than on the son. And this is what the Talmud is teaching us, that, and in fact, it goes on, the Medrash goes on and talks about how then a flute was made from the wood and the stone of the canopy, and someone's playing the flute, and they say, how could you be playing a flute when there's destruction here? And he says, because he could have destroyed his son, and instead he destroyed the canopy. This is a message of hope to us, that we will always be redeemed. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of us trying. It's a matter of us keeping moving forward. But even Wednesday night and Thursday morning, when we mourn and we sit on the floor and we cry for this loss, in the afternoon we begin to get up and we begin to start to think about and talk about the consolation. And this coming Shabbat, it's called Shabbat Nachamu, and we will be reading one of the Haftorahs, the 7 Haftorahs that lead us into Rosh Hashanah, and it's the Haftorah which talks about comfort, Hashem providing comfort. So I hope this gives us a little bit of insight and inspiration to the week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.